Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to join and take part in live lessons on Microsoft Teams. So it's important to mention at this point that whilst you're at home, your timetable is exactly the same as it would be in school, okay? So if you're unsure on the times that your lessons will start, please check this on the website. On the home learning page. It'll also be in your school planners, okay? So make sure you're aware at the start time for every single lesson, periods 1 to 5. So on Microsoft Teams, on the Teams tab, you'll have all of your different classes and subjects. So when it's the start time of your next lesson, click on that subject or that class. And this is where, in a second or two, the teacher will start teaching live. Before the live lesson starts, it's really important to make sure you are in a quiet space, okay? Minimize yourself from any distractions. If you're working on a laptop, make sure your phone is in another room. Don't have a TV on, don't have any music on. You really need to be able to focus on what the teacher's saying whilst they are doing their bit of the live lesson. If it's quite difficult to find a quiet space in your house, then potentially try to use some earphones just so you can really hear the teacher clearly. But in a second or two, as you can see, don't panic if the live lesson doesn't start straight away. As soon as the teacher's ready, they will press start and the live lesson will pop up. As you can see, it has just done so here. So I'm going to press join now. And this screen will pop up. So you need to make sure your video, your camera's turned off and your microphone is also muted for the start of the lesson. So I've checked those two things. I'm going to join now. I'll maximize this screen so it's full screen. Okay, so this live lesson has started. Don't worry if you can't see the quick six or you can't see a slide straight away. The teacher will probably just be getting prepared to share their screen, so just wait patiently. Now, just like in school, there will be a quick six at the start of every lesson. In some lessons, the quick six will be displayed exactly the same as it is in school, and your teachers will want you to post your quick six answers in the chat area, and you can access that by clicking on this speech bubble up here, show conversation. So what your teacher will probably ask is to type your answers 1 to 6. 1, 2, oh, I pressed send, that was an accident. So type your answers, don't press send until your teacher says 3, 2, 1, post. That's important just so that everybody then writes their answers independently without looking at each other's. So don't press post until your teacher counts down and says post. Your teacher might also have not use a quick six like this, like we do in lessons. They might have posted a quick six link in the assignment. So I'm just going to minimize this screen so I can get back onto my Teams assignments, and I'm going to scroll up to the lesson which is here, click on view assignment. Okay, so here's my assignment for this lesson. You can see there's a quick six link. Okay, don't worry about not being on the lesson. The lesson is, you're still online. You're just going to be clicking on another screen to do the quick six, but you're still on the lesson, so don't worry about that. So I'm just going to quickly answer my quick six. Press submit, and then the teacher will see that I have submitted my answers. I've gained 33%. You might get a score straight away, you might not, but your teacher will be going through the answers in a second anyway. So I'm now just going to go back onto Teams and click back on to my live lesson screen, okay? So after the quick six, your teacher will probably then go through a little bit of information, probably teach you some new content. And whilst doing so, you might need to use a number of different functions on Microsoft Teams. So first of all, if you've got a question at any point during the live lesson, you can use this raise hand button up here, and your teacher will be notified that you have got your hand up and you need to ask a question. You might be stuck, you might just be interested in something and want them to expand on a point further, etc. Your teacher might also ask you to use the raise hand feature for maybe a true or false quiz. So they might say, put your hand up if you think this is true, down for false, etc. Another thing that you might need to do, or you might be asked to do during the live lesson, if, for example, there is a mini whiteboard quiz, which you would normally answer on your mini whiteboards if you're in the classroom. So if there's some questions on the screen, you'd use the chat function again here to type your answers, okay? But as I said earlier, do not press post until your teacher says to do so, so that we can make sure everybody is answering the questions independently. But as soon as they say post, you can press that button there, send, and your answers will be posted. Other forms of like interactivity during the lesson, your teacher might post a link to a quiz, or might just it might be just a question, it might be a Kahoot quiz. So just click on that link and it'll take you to, I've already submitted this, so that's why it's not worked, but it would work if you've not already submitted it. So that'll take you to another quiz just by clicking on the link in the chat post. So I've now just returned to my lesson, and your teacher will obviously let you know when the live part of the lesson has ended. Make sure you ask any questions that you might have about the work before you then leave the call.